Okay, good morning, you guys. Look at you all. Sunday morning, showing up for your business. This is amazing. I am so excited to lead you guys through work hours. So, if you don't know who I am not Jamie Ennis. My name is Cassandra Brooks. I'm logged into Jamie's Zoom. So a little bit about myself. I'm a full-time working mom. So I have found a lot of success with my Shackley business. I joined at the end of October. But on top of that, I'm also a full-time probation officer. So I work with juveniles and it's a lot like herding cats. You just are kind of chasing people around all the time. It's really busy. A lot of court hearings, a lot of reports to write. And I also have four kids. On top of having four kids, I have a blended family. So a lot of times we're shuffling back and forth between houses and sports and a lot of just rearranging and rearranging and rearranging and scheduling. And so I'm telling you this because my hope for today is that I can provide you some tips and tricks if you're a busy mom or a working mom or a busy woman, right? Because you don't have to have kids to be super, super busy. So if you're somebody who's like, well, this is my full-time job and I have all the time in the world to work this, then hopefully you can use this recorded work hour for anyone you're bringing on who maybe isn't doing that. Anybody who you bring on who is maybe has the biggest objection that we all hear is, I don't know if I have time. I'm already so busy. Like, I want all the things, I want the extra income, but I just don't know how to do it. Or maybe you're new and you're like, I want to make the time, but I don't even really know where to start. So today I want to start with just 5 tips that I have for you for how to prioritize your business as a very busy person. Okay. So, number one, if you are, if you have a family, if you're in a relationship, if you have a partner, or if you have children, um, communicate with them. So, first things first, do you know what you're working towards? Do you know what your goals are? Do you know what you want to contribute financially to your household? Those are the things that need to be communicated, right? So I have kids ages 1 to 15. So I can promise you that my older kids understand my business. Maybe they don't understand like the details of the comp plan, but they know I'm working and they know I have scheduled work hours. And my husband, who also works 2 jobs, three really, knows my business goals. We talk about them. We talk about my goals for my income, rank. We talk about like this power hour was on our family calendar with a note in there that says, need you to take all the kids and have the house quiet, right? But we talk about them. I communicate them. If you are not communicating with your partner, this business will become a point of contention. And that is what we don't want. What we want is your kids and your partner, husband, wife, whomever, to be like, she has to work. And I respect it. She loves it, she drives it. And then when you're done work, unplug and focus on your family, right? Tip number two, stories on the fly. So if you're like me, sometimes you are so busy working that you go all day and you're like, I never even showed up on my stories today. That is something I have always struggled with because I'm so busy at work, or my mornings are fast and furious, or even my night times are fast and furious. So here's what I encourage you to try to do. First of all, take pictures in your camera roll. Sometimes I think we get caught up in our head about how our stories have to look. We don't have time to like make them look pretty or be how we want them. So stories on the fly. Take a quick picture of yourself. Like if you have kids who go to daycare, you're in your car, picture of yourself, save it for later, upload it later, daycare drop off or daycare pickup, right? Show that you're a busy working mom or show that you're a busy person. If you have food that you prepped and you're really excited about what you're about to eat for lunch, but you don't have time, take a picture of it, save it for later. Maybe you're driving through a snowstorm and you stop at a stoplight and you just take a picture of the weather. Maybe you're going grocery shopping. Maybe you have a grocery delivery. I do this all the time. Like I just recently discovered Shipt. So I'll get like a grocery delivery. I was always really good about being like, "Oh, I'm grocery shopping through the store," but with grocery delivery, they bring it. I'm carrying all the stuff in from outside and I have it on the ground and I just put it all away and I'm like, oh, I should have shared what was in my haul. And I didn't. And now it's done. So try to remember to just take a picture and come back to it later when you have the time to sit down and do your stories. Tip number three, any stories that you use that you're like like, oh, I did a product spotlight or I did a before and after and you're like, these are great, but they disappear in 24 hours. Start saving those to your camera roll and put them in an album called Shackley so that you don't have to recreate the wheel every time. Reuse the ones that are like, oh, this is good, right? So just work smarter, not harder. Number four, clear out your inbox when you have time to respond. So for me, I'm often in my phone whenever I'm like, if I'm driving in the community and I'm seeing kids at schools and stuff, I'll stop in the parking lot before I go in, but I make sure that I have like 3 to 5 minutes. I want to actually make sure that I have time to respond. If I open a message and it's like a complicated question where I'm like, I know I'm going to need more time to actually respond to this person in the way I want to, I will say to them, hey, I'm running around right now. I want to respond to you, but give me a few minutes to come back so I can give you my full attention. Mark that message as unread so that you don't miss it. Because this is how I miss people or have missed people in the past all the time because I'm so busy and I'm just go, 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 go. And I see a message, I look at it, I'm like, shoot, I don't really have time to respond to that right now. And then I forget about them. If you guys are new to this business or have been in network marketing or direct sales, you know that there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of chats, there's a lot of things happening. Um, and so you don't want to miss people. Okay. So just mark them on red and come back to them. Or if somebody sends you a message, take a screenshot, save it to your camera roll. So when you go in later to upload your stories from your camera roll, you'll see the screenshots of all the conversations you need to get back to. So whatever way works for you, make sure that you are not missing people. Okay. Okay, number five, you need to start scheduling in your work time like you would schedule a doctor's appointment for your child, right? And I always use this analogy because I think as busy people, especially busy moms, you can be stretched thin, like going from 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. until like 9 or 10, especially if your kids are in sports or whatever. And so you don't feel like you have time for one more thing. But if your youngest child wakes up with a fever of 103 and is very, very sick, you're sure as heck going to schedule in a doctor's appointment for that day and you're going to rearrange. My point is it's all here. You have to prioritize your work like you would prioritize a doctor's appointment for your child. So my best advice to you is to do that in advance. Put it on the family calendar. Again, communicate with your partner. Let people know when you're working. And if it's during your actual work hours, like if you work full time outside of this business, maybe you time block 10 minutes during your 30-minute lunch. Okay? So so I want you to get organized. So for purposes of our work hour today, I'm going to teach you how to do pocket work. And that is what I have had to learn as a very busy working mom over the years. And if I don't prioritize it, if I don't schedule it in, it doesn't happen. And then what I'm ending up doing is I'm sitting down to work after I put the baby to sleep around like 8 o'clock and I'm working from like 8 to 10, or I'm working from 9 to 11 and then I'm not getting enough sleep. Or like if you're like me and you start working, you get like really energized, you'll go all night. And so you really want to practice working in pockets. So we're going to do some of that pocket work today, and hopefully you can kind of take this with you, even if you're doing this full time on your busiest days, because we all have days where we're just like completely slammed. Okay. So the first thing that I want you guys to do, because we are all here focused on the business, is we are going to talk into our stories today. Okay. So you are going to get in your stories. We're going to take like 3 to 5 minutes to get in your stories. And what you're going to talk about is the fact that you're on a power hour. And the reason this is important is because you guys want to let other new people or people who are watching your business adventure know that they don't have to really understand the business to say yes and jump in. Because there are going to be things like this now and in the future where you get a guided work hour. And if you're new to this business, or you just joined and you're coming from another company, be like, I'm on this guided work hour and it's amazing because she's going to tell me exactly what I need to do. And then by 10 o'clock, I've done all of the things, right? Like if you are slammed the rest of the day, telling you right now I'm leaving to go to an AAU tournament and then I'm going to a birthday party, and then it's just like boom, 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 boom. So let people know that there are guided work hours that will teach you how to work. Okay, get in your stories, 3 to 5 minutes, go. Okay, you guys. Sometimes I don't want to like show up loudly if you're in your stories, but you can mute me. Okay, so we are going to move on. Um, so the next thing that we are going to do is invite. So come back, come back, come back whenever you guys can. Be done with your stories. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, okay? Just share. I'm working a guided work hour and move on. Okay. So the next thing that we're gonna do is invite. Now, you can do all of the things, right? There are so many like facets to this business. There's like social media, there's stories, there's connections, there's the follow-up, there's posting, there's reels. Like there are so many things. But if you aren't inviting, if you aren't getting in people's direct messages, you are not running a successful business. Okay. And so we are going to start with what I think the hardest thing is for people first, which is business invites. And so just a little tip for anybody who like is very, very busy or struggles with this, something that I do that is helpful to me as a very busy working mom is I will pick three people the night before and just find people on my social media who maybe show up on their social media in a way that I'm like, I really like this. Like, this person is not shy. This person is outgoing. This person is, sharing their kids and their life, or maybe it's somebody who's a customer of yours and maybe they have really had a great experience, or maybe it's somebody, maybe you did like direct sales before and it was somebody who did direct sales in another company with you, or maybe it's somebody who is always, saying that they wish they had more of an income, or somebody works really hard. You're just going to think like, who do I want to work with? You get to be picky. This is your business. And so if the night before you can come up with three people, I'm at least getting three business invites out every single day. And I already know who I'm going to invite. So for me, I do it in voice note because I just find it easier than like sending like a message like while I'm in the middle of work or whatever, like a typed out message. So I will just voice note as I drive. I already have my list of three and I'm just voice noting. Hey, I'm just literally on the move right now. I'm driving, but I saw you pop up on my feed last night and I wrote myself a note because I wanted to send you a voice note today, right? Like, I've noticed you're complimenting them. I like how you show up on social media. And I don't like, if you're brand new, you can say something like, I don't know if you know this about me, but I've just decided to take on a brand new business. And let me tell you guys something. If you are brand new, there is huge, immense power in inviting somebody else who's also brand new to say, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know that there are like very bananas systems in place for us to learn. And like the people who are teaching us are very successful. So, like, do you want to lock arms and do this business with me? There's so much power in that. You do not have to know the business. So unlearn that limiting belief right now. You do not have to know about the business. You do not have to know the compensation plan all the way. You do not have to have tried every product. You just have to know, I want to do this. And so there's a lot of power in just saying to people, do you want to do this together? Okay. So I'm going to challenge you guys we're going to take 10 minutes and you can do it through voice note. You can type a message out, but I want you to go invite three people to this business opportunity. And I will drop in the chat as well. Oh, hold on, somebody in the waiting room. I will drop in the chat as well. If you guys missed our business opportunity call, it was probably the best business opportunity call I've ever heard. It is what I will send to people. So I will drop that call in the chat. And if somebody says, yes, I want more information, send them this call. Okay. You store this in your notes in your Google Keep, whatever you use to stay organized. So I will drop that in the chat. But while I'm doing that, I want you guys to be sending your invites. Okay. 10 minutes. Go. Okay, you guys. So that was 10 minutes. That is a perfect example of how you can take 10 minutes while you're driving from place to place, as long as you have your list of people to work from, business invites done. Okay. And I just kind of want to share, I kind of got into the groove as I was going. I sent 4 business invites out. And they were all very similar, but I sent voice notes. And I think that like for me, I just kind of fell into the groove of saying like, "Hey, I don't know if you're interested in this, but last week the company that I've partnered with did an opportunity call, a business opportunity call, and I think it was one of the best business opportunity calls I've ever heard because it really talks about like the mission and the values of the company, but also really highlights the products and what we stand for, and what we have to offer. And obviously, there's a lot more information about like compensation plan and how to earn. But if I sent it to you, would you take the time to listen to it? And that's kind of how I worded it. And I, maybe was a little stumbly in the first message, but by the fourth message, it was just coming out, right? And then as I was going, I was looking through like my cleanse group that I have going on, and I was like, there's a lot more people in here I could invite, and now I'm on a roll, right? But I had 10 minutes, and so stopping right at 10 minutes. Um, Also, I like to throw in there a compliment. Like, I feel like you and I have a lot in common, or I feel like you're also a busy working mom, or I really like how you share on social media, or I know that, having an extra stream of income is important to you, right? I'm connecting with them in some way during the invite, and I'm just piquing their interest. And then I'm ending it by saying absolutely no pressure, but let me know if you would take the time to listen if I sent it. So I'm not asking for a yes or no on the business. I'm just saying, would you listen to this call if I sent it? Okay, so now we are going to move on to inviting to whatever challenge group, to call it challenge group, whatever group you're running. Maybe it's hormone health, maybe it's a cleanse group, maybe you're inviting again for the Ready Set Wellness bundle, maybe you're doing a skincare group. That's what I'm inviting to right now. Um, if you're anything like me, you guys, you have probably joined this company and realized that you have like new interests that maybe you didn't know about. I didn't realize like I'm like really getting into the skincare stuff. Um, and that's just because I have tried it and it really changed my skin. So we are going to invite. So, top tip for you guys, right? If you're somebody who has not sent any direct invites, but you have posted, like if you're brand new and you've been told like go create your community group, and so you're just kind of like adding people to that, that's a really good place to start. Okay. And so what I want to use is an analogy that I've always heard and loved is the party analogy, right? So if you are posting in your community group or posting on your page or posting in your stories about whatever group you're running, just imagine like this. Okay, let's say you're having a party and I say, Ashley, or if you are on my page and you're watching my stories and you see like, oh, I'm having a party this weekend. Anyone can come. It's going to be so much fun. This is why I'm throwing it. I'm super excited. You're probably just going to be like, oh, cool, next, she's having a party. But if I get in your inbox and I'm like, Ashley, Ashley, I am having a party. It's January 20th. We are starting at this time. I need you there with me. I need you to do this group with me, or I need you to do this thing with me because I think you would love it or it has changed my life. Like, can I send you some info? I'm really, really excited about this. You are like 99% more likely to be like, I'll consider coming, as if you just, as opposed to just seeing it and like a a blank invite, right? So that personalized invite is super important. So I say that because if you're somebody who's been posting in your community group, go through your community group. Invite every single person individually. Don't just assume that because you're posting in your group and nobody's responding or getting in your inbox that they don't want to do it. As a business owner, it doesn't matter how successful you are. I promise you, Heather Green, she's very successful. Amber, Jamie Innes, Sammy Hoffines, Danny Detra. These women are scratching and clawing their way into people's inboxes. They're not thinking, oh, I've been doing this so long, people are coming to me. Never going to happen. Maybe on a good day, maybe on a lucky day. But you're not going to build a successful business just hoping and praying that somebody's going to slide into your DMs, right? That's your job as a business owner. So we're going to take 10 minutes, okay? And we are going to get in people's inboxes, okay? Again, there is a lot of power in saying, do you want to do this with me? If you're brand new and your products haven't come yet, you can say, hey, I just ordered this brand new skincare line. I'm really excited to try it. I'm going to get a bunch of people together, or hopefully, and do a little tips and tricks skincare 101 with a couple other girls. Can I send you some info? Do you want to do this with me? Okay. Don't overthink it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. 10 minutes. Go. All right, you guys, we are switching gears. So we are going to move on to connection messages. And something new that I've been incorporating that has actually been working really well for me is what I want us to take the next 5 minutes to do. So, if you guys have been sharing on social media and people are commenting, like liking and commenting on your posts, whatever, and we've always been told, like, oh, just like comment back to them, respond, engage with your people. I've been taking it one step farther, and anybody who comments on my posts, I'm not only responding back to them, but I'm shooting them a DM. So, for example, I shared a reel about breastfeeding the other day, and I had a lot of comments, which I responded to on my post on my reel. But then I sent them a private message and said, it was like, it's literally something so silly. Like, oh my gosh, can you believe like the audacity, what people have to say to us about breastfeeding? Isn't it crazy? And then I just leave it at that. But so many conversations sparked out of that. So even if you have to go back to a reel or a post that you posted a week or two ago, I want you to get in those people's inboxes who maybe commented on it and say something like, "Oh my gosh, I was just checking all my comments from my whatever reel or my whatever post, and isn't what Elf on the Shelf funny? Aren't you glad it's done?" Or I don't know, like whatever. It can be all the way back to Christmas. So if you have posts on your page, I want you to get started on that. If you're somebody who's like, I don't post and I have nothing to go off of, keep listening, okay? I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. So I want you to do a quick social media audit and I want you to look at your content. And so you should have three main things that you are consistently posting about. This makes you you. This is your thing, right? So for me, one should always be business. Okay. So business, then for me, it's recovery. I share a lot about my recovery journey. And then the third thing I share about is just being like postpartum. Even though Harlem's like one going on two now, like I still share a lot about just like being postpartum, breastfeeding, being a mom, like all things in that bundle of stuff, right? Um, so I want you to think about what your three things are. And um, if you are lacking on that, if you're like, oh, I share about me and my husband, or I share about my kids, or I share about I make bread and I like to make bread, but I haven't shared about business, your job for today is to get a post up about where your hole is. Whatever hole you have on your social media, you need to get a post up today about that, right? So I've been actually sharing a lot more about the business and I think I probably am due for like some type of recovery or mom post, right? So that's going to be my focus is to just do something fun today. Um, but when somebody comes to your page, they should absolutely know what you're about, okay? And it should be very clear. So a couple more minutes for connection messages. Okay, you guys. So we are going to switch gears and we are going to finish this workout with follow-ups. So I hope you guys can see so far like how like this pocket work is very doable throughout the day. Like those connection messages, you can literally do that while you're like going to the bathroom. Like you can find the time. You can sit down during lunch and send voice notes from your car for the business. You can do invites, right? But the key to success is always going to be obviously, yes, invites, but follow-ups. And so that's how I want to end today. I am somebody who works very, very hard on the weekends. I know other people who get, more time during the week to do this full time, maybe prioritize family time on the weekends, but do not count out Sundays. If you're somebody who's willing to work a Sunday, obviously you all are here working. I would say like 90% of my sales come from the weekends because, like me, other busy working people are like finally able to breathe again. Maybe their weekend was like so go, 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 go that by Saturday or Sunday, they're actually able to be like, okay, let me circle back to this conversation with you, or I have this card out. Let me actually sit down and purchase it. So follow-ups. Follow-ups can be super simple. Um, like I was sending some this morning before I got on this call. Good morning. This is to anyone who maybe has a card out. Like, hopefully you can take a quick second and get ordered today. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy, happy Sunday. Or sometimes if I like am ready, like just finalize your purchase. I know you want to do this, but you're dragging your feet. I'll just say, hey, do you have a quick second to complete your enrollment or to complete your purchase? I'd really love to get you in this group and add you to my formal list, right? Um, So if you have invited somebody and they maybe said, yes, send me more information, and then stop talking to you, now's the time for the circle back. Okay. So you're going to just message them and say, hey, um, I don't know if your week was anything like mine, but if it was probably absolutely insanely busy. Wanted to circle back around to this conversation since you said yes to more info. Um, did you have a chance to look over what I sent you? Okay. So go follow up with people, especially people who have carts out. And we're going to do that until we finish. Okay, guys, it is 9:59. So I want to respect everybody's time. We're going to wrap it up today. Hopefully this was helpful for anybody who maybe has only pockets of time to work or is going to be adding people to their team who only has pockets to work. This would be a great work hour to send to somebody who's brand new, who just is like, I'm too busy or I'm not sure. But thank you guys so much for prioritizing your business this morning. I don't know if we should, I missed my opportunity, I think, for a picture because people got off, but that's okay. I will stop the recording. Everybody have a happy, happy Sunday.